Psalms, Chapter 1. Tehillim, Chapter 1. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the house of scorners. But his delight is in the Torah of the Lord, and in his Torah he meditates day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by streams of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season. Its leaf also shall not wither, and in whatever he does, he shall prosper. Not so the wicked, but they are like the chaff which the wind drives away. Therefore the wicked shall not stand in judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked shall perish. Psalms, Chapter 2. Tehillim, Chapter 2. Why are the nations in uproar, and the people mutter a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord, and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bonds asunder, and cast away their cords from us. He who sits in heavens laughs. The Lord has them in derision. Then shall he speak to them in his wrath, and terrify them in his burning anger. But I have set my king upon Sion, my holy hill. I will tell of the decree. The Lord has said to me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee nations for thy inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O kings. Be warned, O judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Worship in purity, lest he be angry, and you perish from the way. For in a little while his anger will blaze. Blessed are all who put their trust in him. Psalms, Chapter 3. Tehillim, Chapter 3. A psalm of David, when he fled from Absalom his son. Lord, how many are my enemies become? Many are they who rise up against me. Many there be who say of my soul, There is no help for him in God. Selah. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of my head. I cried to the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. Selah. I lie me down and sleep. I awake, for the Lord sustains me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheek. Thou hast broken the teeth of the wicked. Salvation belongs to the Lord. Thy blessing be upon thy people. Selah. Psalms, Chapter 4. Tehillim, Chapter 4. For the chief musician on strings, a psalm of David. Hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress. Have mercy upon me, and hear my prayer. O sons of men, how long will you turn my glory into shame? You love vanity, and seek after falsehood. Selah. But I know that the Lord has set apart the godly man as his own. The Lord will hear when I call to him. Tremble and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed, and be still. Selah. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness, and put your trust in the Lord. There are many who say, Who will show us good? Lord, lift thou up the light of thy countenance upon us. Thou hast put more gladness in my heart than they whose corn and wine are increased. I will both lie down and sleep in peace, for thou, Lord, alone makest me to dwell in safety. Psalms, chapter 5. Tehillim, chapter 5. To the chief musician, for flutes, a psalm of David. Give ear to my words, O Lord, consider my meditation. Hearken to the voice of my cry, my King and my God. For to thee I will pray. My voice shalt thou hear in the morning, O Lord. In the morning I will direct my prayer to thee, and will wait expectantly. For thou art not a God that hast pleasure in wickedness, nor shall evil dwell with thee. The boastful shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Thou dost destroy them that speak falsehood. The Lord abhors the bloody and deceitful man. But as for me, I will come into thy house in the multitude of thy love, and in the fear of thee I will worship towards the holy temple. Lead me, O Lord, in thy righteousness, because of my enemies. Make thy way straight before my face, for there is no sincerity in their mouth. In their heart is malice. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue. Condemn them, O God. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out for the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee. But let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because thou dost defend them. And let those who love thy name be joyful in thee. For thou, Lord, dost bless the righteous. Thou dost encircle him with favor, as with a shield. Psalms, chapter 6. Tehillim, chapter 6. To the chief musician on strings upon the sheminith. A psalm of David. O Lord, rebuke me not in thy anger, nor chastise me in thy hot displeasure. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones shudder, and my soul is much affrighted. And thou, O Lord, how long? Return, O Lord, deliver my soul. O save me on account of thy steadfast love. For in death there is no remembrance of thee. In Sheol, who shall give thee thanks? I am weary with my groaning. All the night I make my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. My eye is wasted because of grief. It grows weak because of all my enemies. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity. For the Lord has heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord has heard my supplication. The Lord receives my prayer. All my enemies will be ashamed and much affrighted. They will turn back and be confounded in a moment. Psalms, chapter 7. Tehillim, chapter 7. A Shigayon of David, which he sang to the Lord, concerning the words of Cush the Benjaminite. O Lord my God, in thee do I put my trust. Save me from all them that persecute me, and deliver me, lest he tear my soul like a lion, rending it in pieces, while there is none to deliver. My Lord, my God, if I have done this, if there be iniquity in my hands, if I have rewarded evil to him that was at peace with me, indeed I have rescued him that without cause is my enemy. Let the enemy persecute my soul and take it, and let him tread down my life to the earth, and lay my honor in the dust. Selah. Arise, O Lord, in thy anger. Lift up thyself against the fury of my enemies, and awake for me. Thou hast commanded judgment. Let the congregation of the peoples compass thee about. and for their sakes return thou on high. The Lord shall judge the peoples. Judge me, O Lord, according to my righteousness, and according to my integrity that is in me. O let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteous God tries the hearts and reins. My defense is of God, who saves the upright in heart. God is a righteous judge, and a God who has indignation every day. If a man does not turn, then he will whet his sword. He has bent his bow and made it ready. He has also prepared for him the instruments of death. He makes arrows for the pursuers. Behold, he travails with iniquity. He has conceived mischief, and brings forth falsehood. He has made a pit, and has dug it out, and has fallen into the ditch which he made. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. I will praise the Lord according to his righteousness, and will sing praise to the name of the Lord Most High. Psalms, chapter 8. Tehillim, chapter 8. To the chief musician upon the Gittit, a psalm of David. O Lord our God, how majestic is thy name in all the earth, who hast set thy glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou found strength because of thy enemies, that thou mightest still the enemy and the avenger. When I behold thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained, what is man, that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man, that thou visitest him? Yet thou hast made him a little lower than the angels, and thou dost crown him with glory and honor. Thou makest him to have dominion over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, and also the beasts of the field, the birds of the sky, and the fish of the sea, whatever passes through the paths of the sea. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is thy name in all the earth. Psalms, chapter 9. Tehillim, chapter 9. To the chief musician on the death of Laban, a psalm of David. I will praise thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will relate all thy marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in thee. I will sing praise to thy name. O thou Most High, when my enemies are turned back, when they stumble and perish at thy presence. For thou hast maintained my right and my cause. Thou didst sit on the throne, giving righteous judgment. Thou hast rebuked the nations. Thou hast destroyed the wicked. Thou hast blotted out their name forever and ever. The enemies are come to an end, in perpetual ruins, for thou hast destroyed the cities. Their memorial is perished. But the Lord shall endure forever. He has prepared his throne for judgment, and he will judge the world in righteousness. He will minister judgment to the people in uprightness. The Lord will also be a stronghold for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, Lord, hast not forsaken those that seek thee. Sing praises to the Lord, who dwells in Zion. Declare among the peoples his doings, for he avenges blood. He remembers it. He does not forget the cry of the humble. Be gracious to me, O Lord. Consider my trouble, which I suffer from those who hate me. Thou that liftest me up from the gates of death, that I may relate all thy praises in the gates of the daughters of Zion. I will rejoice in thy salvation. The nations are sunk down in the pit that they have made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executes. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. A higayon, Selah. The wicked shall be turned back to Sheol, all the nations that forget God. For the needy shall not always be forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, let man not prevail. Let the nations be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Lord. The nations will then know themselves to be but men. Selah. Psalms. Chapter 10. Tehillim. Chapter 10. Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride hotly pursues the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasts of his heart's desire, and the greedy wretch curses and renounces the Lord. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, thinks he will not seek out. All his thoughts are, God is not. His ways are always strong. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he hisses at them. He says in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and iniquity. He sits in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places he murders the innocent. His eyes stealthily watch for the helpless. He lies in wait secretly, like a lion in his den. He lies in wait to catch the poor. He catches the poor when he draws him into his net. The helpless collapse. They bow down and fall into his power. He says in his heart, God has forgiven. He hides his face. He will never see it. Arise, O Lord. O God, lift up thy hand. Forget not the humble. Why does the wicked man renounce God? He says in his heart, Thou wilt not avenge. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite, to requite it with thy hand. The helpless man commits himself to thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none left. The Lord is king forever and ever. The nations are perished out of his land. Lord, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt strengthen their heart. Thou wilt cause thy ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, so that none shall any longer terrify innocent men from the earth. Psalms. Chapter 11. Tehillim. Chapter 11. To the chief musician of David. In the Lord I put my trust. How can you say to my soul, flee like a bird to your mountain? For, lo, the wicked bend the bow. They make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may shoot in darkness at the upright in heart. For when the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord in his holy temple, the Lord whose throne is in heaven, whose eyes behold, whose eyelids try, the children of men. The Lord tries the righteous, but the wicked and him who loves violence, his soul hates. Upon the wicked he shall rain coals, fire and brimstone, and a scorching wind shall be the portion of their cup. For the Lord is righteous, he loves righteousness, the upright shall behold his face. Psalms. Chapter 12. Tehillim. Chapter 12. To the chief musician, upon the Sheminith. A psalm of David. Help, Lord, for the godly man ceases, for the faithful fall from among the children of men. They speak vanity, every one with his fellow. With flattering lips and with a double heart they speak. May the Lord cut off all flattering lips, the tongue that speaks proud things, who have said, with our tongue we will prevail. Our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? For the violence done to the poor, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, says the Lord. I will set him in safety at whom they hiss. The words of the Lord are pure words, silver refined in a furnace upon the ground, purified 7 times. Thou shalt keep them, O Lord. Thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side, when vileness is exalted among the children of men. Psalms, chapter 13. Tehillim, chapter 13. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. How long wilt thou forget me, O Lord? Forever? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Look and hear me, O Lord my God. Lighten my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death, lest my enemy say, I have prevailed against him, and those who trouble me rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing to the Lord, because he has dealt bountifully with me. Psalms, chapter 14. Tehillim, chapter 14. To the chief musician of David. The fool has said in his heart, There is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that does good. The Lord looks down from heaven upon the children of men, to see if there were any that understood, and sought God. They are all gone aside. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that does good, no, not one. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge? Who eat up my people as they eat bread, and call not upon the Lord. There were they in great fear, for God is in the generation of the righteous. You shame the counsel of the poor, because the Lord is his refuge. O that the salvation of Yisrael were come out of Sion. When the Lord brings back the captivity of his people, Yaakov shall rejoice, and Yisrael shall be glad. Psalms, chapter 15. Tehillim, chapter 15. A psalm of David. Lord, who shall abide in thy tent? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? He that walks uprightly and acts justly, and speaks the truth in his heart. He that does not slander with his tongue, nor does evil to his fellow, nor takes up a reproach against his neighbor, in whose eyes a vile person is despised, but he honors them that fear the Lord. He that swears in his own hurt and changes not. He that does not put out his money on interest, nor takes a bribe against the innocent. He that does these things shall never be moved. Psalms, chapter 16. Tehillim, chapter 16. Preserve me, O God, for in thee do I put my trust. I have said to the Lord, Thou art my God. I have no good apart from thee, and to the saints that are on the earth. They are the excellent, in whom is all my delight. Their sorrows shall be multiplied, that hasten after another God. Their drink offerings of blood will I not offer, nor take up their names upon my lips. The Lord is the portion of my inheritance and of my cup. Thou maintainest my lot. The lines are fallen to me in pleasant places. Yea, I have a goodly heritage. I bless the Lord, who gives me counsel. My reins also admonish me in the night seasons. I have set the Lord always before me. Surely he is at my right hand. I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoices. My flesh also dwells secure. For thou wilt not abandon my soul to Sheol, nor wilt thou suffer thy holy ones to see the pit. Thou wilt make known to me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand are pleasures for evermore. Psalms, chapter 17. Tehillim, chapter 17. A prayer of David. Hear the right, O Lord. Attend to my cry. Give ear to my prayer. From lips without deceit. Let my sentence come forth from thy presence. Let thy eyes behold the right. Thou hast proved my heart. Thou hast visited it in the night. Thou hast tried me, but thou findest nothing. Let no presumptuous thought pass my lips. Concerning the words of men, by the word of thy lips I have kept me from the paths of the violent. My steps have held fast to thy paths. My feet have not slipped. I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O God. Incline thy ear to me, and hear my speech. Show marvelously thy steadfast love, saving with thy right hand from their enemies those who seek refuge. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. They dog our footsteps. They surround us. They set their eyes to tread us down to the earth. He is like a lion, greedy for its prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Lord, confront him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked by thy sword. From men by thy hand, O Lord, from men whose portion in life is of this world, and whose belly thou fillest with thy treasure, who have children in plenty, and who leave their abundance to their babes. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with beholding thy likeness. Psalms, chapter 18. Tehillim, chapter 18. To the chief musician of David, the servant of the Lord, who spoke to the Lord the words of this song in the day that the Lord delivered him from the hand of all his enemies, and from the hand of Shaul. And he said, I will love thee, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. My God, my rock, in whom I will trust, my shield, and the horn of my salvation, and my high tower. He is worthy to be praised. I will call upon the Lord. So shall I be saved from my enemies. The bonds of death encircled me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The cords of Sheol compassed me about. The snares of death took me by surprise. In my distress I called upon the Lord, and cried to my God. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled, and the foundations of the hills moved and were shaken because of his anger. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub, and did fly. He soared on the wings of the wind. He made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him was dark water and thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, hail and coals of fire. And he sent down his arrows, and scattered them. And he shot out lightnings, and confounded them. Then the channels of water were seen, and the foundations of the world were laid bare. At thy rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils. He sent from above, he took me, he drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, and from those that hated me, for they were too strong for me. They surprised me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my stay. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. The Lord rewards me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands he recompenses me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. I was also upright before him, and I kept myself from my iniquity. Therefore the Lord recompenses me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his eyesight. With the merciful thou wilt show thyself merciful. With an upright man thou wilt show thyself upright. With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure. And with the perverse thou wilt show thyself subtle. For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but wilt bring down high looks. For thou wilt light my candle. The Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. For by thee I run through a troop, and by my God I leap over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a shield to all those who trust in him. For who is God save the Lord? Or who is a rock save our God? It is God that girds me with strength, and makes my way perfect. He makes my feet like hinds' feet, and sets me upon my heights. He teaches my hands to war, so that a bow of brass is bent in my arms. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy right hand has supported me, and my condescension has made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, that my feet did not slip. I have pursued my enemies and overtaken them. Neither did I turn back till they were consumed. I have crushed them, so that they were not able to rise. They are fallen under my feet. For thou hast girded me with strength to the battle. Thou hast subdued under me those who rose up against me. Thou hast also made my enemies turn their backs on me, that I might destroy those that hate me. They cried, but there was none to save them. To the Lord, but he answered them not. Then I did beat them small, like the dust before the wind. I did cast them out, like the dirt in the streets. Thou deliverest me from the strivings of the people. Thou makest me head of nations. A people whom I have not known shall serve me. As soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. The strangers shall submit themselves to me. The strangers shall fade away and come trembling out of their close places. The Lord lives, and blessed is my rock, and let the God of my salvation be exalted. It is God who avenges me, and has subdued peoples under me. He delivers me from my enemies. Indeed, thou liftest me up above those who rise up against me. Thou deliverest me from the violent man. Therefore will I give thanks to thee, O Lord, among the nations, and sing praises to thy name. Great deliverance he gives to his king, and shows steadfast love to his anointed, to David, and to his seed for evermore. Psalms, chapter 19. Tehillim, chapter 19. To the musician, a psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims his handiwork. Day to day utters speech, and night to night expresses knowledge. There is no speech, nor are there words. Their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them he has set a tent for the sun, which is like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoices like a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit to the ends of it. And there is nothing hid from his heart. The Torah of the Lord is perfect, restoring the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and are righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, ever much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Moreover by them is thy servant enlightened, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Who can discern errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be clear of much transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Psalms, chapter 20. Tehillim, chapter 20. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. May the Lord hear thee in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Yaakov defeat thee. May he send thee help from the sanctuary, and strengthen thee out of Zion. May he remember all thy offerings, and accept with favor thy burnt offering. Selah. May he grant thee thy heart's desire, and fulfill all thy counsel. May we rejoice in thy salvation, and in the name of our God set up our banner. Let the Lord fulfill all thy petitions. Now I know that the Lord saves his anointed, that he answers him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Some trust in chariots, and some in horses, but we will make mention of the name of the Lord our God. They are bowed down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. Save, Lord, our King, who hears us on the day when we call. Psalms, chapter 21. Tehillim, chapter 21. To the chief musicians, a psalm of David. The king joys in thy strength, O Lord, and in thy salvation how greatly he rejoices. Thou hast given him his heart's desire, and hast not withheld the request of his lips. Selah. For thou dost meet him with the blessings of goodness. Thou settest a crown of pure gold on his head. He asked life of thee, and thou didst give it him. Length of days forever and ever. His glory is great in thy salvation. Honor and majesty thou dost lay upon him, for thou dost make him most blessed forever. Thou makest him exceeding glad with thy countenance. For the king trusts in the Lord, and through the steadfast love of the Most High he shall not be moved. Thy hand shall find out all thy enemies. Thy right hand shall seize those that hate thee. Thou shalt make them like a fiery oven in the time of thy anger. The Lord shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. Their fruit shalt thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. For they intended evil against thee. They imagined a mischievous device, but they will not succeed, for thou shalt make them turn their back. Thou shalt aim thy bowstrings against the face of them. Be thou exalted, Lord, in thy own strength. We will sing and praise thy power. Psalms, chapter 22. Tehillim, chapter 22. To the musician, upon Ayelet HaShachar, a psalm of David. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from helping me, from the words of my loud complaint? O my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not, and in the night season, and I have no rest. But thou art holy, O thou that art enthroned upon the praises of Yisrael. Our fathers trusted in thee. They trusted, and thou didst deliver them. They cried to thee, and were delivered. They trusted in thee, and were not confounded. But I am a worm, and no man, a reproach of men, and despised of the people. All that see me laugh me to scorn. They shoot out the lip, they shake the head, saying, He trusts in the Lord that he will deliver him. Let him deliver him, seeing he delights in him. But thou art he that took me out of the womb. Thou didst make me hope when I was upon my mother's breasts. I was cast upon thee from the womb. Thou art my God from my mother's belly. Be not far from me, for trouble is near. For there is none to help. Many bulls have compassed me. Strong bulls of Bashan have beset me round. They gape upon me with their mouths, like a ravening and a roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is become like wax. It is melted in the midst of my bowels. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue cleaves to my jaws. And thou layest me down in the dust of death. For dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They seize my hands and my feet like a lion. I can count all my bones. They look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them, and cast lots upon my vesture. But be not thou far from me, O Lord. O my strength, haste thee to help me. Deliver my life from the sword, my only one from the power of the dog. Save me from the lion's mouth, for thou hast answered me from the horns of the wild oxen. I will declare thy name to my brethren. In the midst of the congregation I will praise thee. You who fear the Lord, praise him. All you, the seed of Yaakov. Glorify him and fear him, all the seed of Yisrael. For he has not despised nor abhorred the affliction of the afflicted, nor has he hid his face from him. But when he cried to him, he heard. My praise shall be of thee in the great congregation. I will pay my vows before those who fear him. The meek shall eat and be satisfied. Those who seek him shall praise the Lord. May your heart forever revive. All the ends of the world shall remember and turn to the Lord, and all the families of the nations shall worship before thee. For the kingdom is the Lord's, and he is ruler over the nations. All the fat ones of the earth shall eat and worship. All they that go down in the dust, and he that cannot keep alive his own soul, shall bow before him. Their seed shall serve him. It shall be told of the Lord to the coming generation. They shall come, and shall declare his righteousness to a people that shall be born, that he has done this. Psalms, chapter 23. Tehillim, chapter 23. A psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Psalms, chapter 24. Tehillim, chapter 24. A psalm of David. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell in it. For he has founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the mountain of the Lord? Or who shall stand in his holy place? He that has clean hands and a pure heart, who has not taken my name in vain, nor sworn deceitfully. He has received a blessing from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is Yaakov, the generation of those who seek him, that seek thy face, Selah. Lift up your heads, O you gates, and be lifted up, you everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O you gates, and lift them up, you everlasting doors, that the King of glory may come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory. Selah. Psalms, chapter 25. Tehillim, chapter 25. Of David. To thee, O Lord, do I lift up my soul. O my God, I trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed. Let not my enemies triumph over me. Moreover, let none that wait on thee be ashamed. Let them be ashamed who betray without cause. Make me know thy ways, O Lord. Teach me thy paths. Lead me in thy truth, and teach me, for thou art the God of my salvation. For thee do I wait all the day. Remember, O Lord, thy tender mercies and thy truth, for they have been from old. Remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions. According to thy loyal love, remember thou me for thy goodness' sake, O Lord. Good and upright is the Lord. Therefore does he instruct sinners in the way. He directs the humble in justice, and he teaches the meek his way. All the paths of the Lord are mercy and truth to such as keep his covenant and his testimonies. For thy name's sake, O Lord, pardon my iniquity, for it is great. What man is he that fears the Lord? Him shall he teach in the way that he should choose. His soul shall abide in prosperity, and his seed shall inherit the earth. The counsel of the Lord is with them that fear him, and he will reveal to them his covenant. My eyes are ever towards the Lord, for he shall pluck my feet out of the net. Turn thee to me, and be gracious to me, for I am desolate and afflicted. The troubles of my heart are enlarged. O bring me out of my distress. Look upon my affliction and my pain, and forgive all my sins. Consider my enemies, for they are many, and they hate me with a cruel hatred. O keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I put my trust in thee. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, because I wait for thee. Redeem Yisrael, O God, out of all his troubles. Psalms, chapter 26. Tehillim, chapter 26. Of David. Judge me, O Lord, For I have walked in my integrity, and I have trusted in the Lord. I shall not slip. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart. For thy loyal love is before my eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. I have not sat with vain persons, neither do I enter the company of the dissemblers. I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and I do not sit with the wicked. I wash my hands in innocency. So I compass thy altar, O Lord, that I may sound the voice of thanksgiving, and tell of all thy wondrous works. Lord, I love the habitation of thy house, and the place where thy glory dwells. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in my integrity. Redeem me, and be gracious unto me. My foot stands in an even place. In the congregations I will bless the Lord. Psalms, chapter 27. Tehillim, chapter 27. Of David. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though a host should camp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, even then I will be confident. One thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For in the day of evil he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the covert of his tent he shall hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock, and now shall my head be lifted up above my enemies round about me. Therefore I will offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing, and I will make melody to the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry with my voice. Be gracious to me and answer me. Of thee my heart has said, Seek my face. Thy face, O Lord, I seek. Hide not thy face from me. Put not thy servant away in anger. Thou hast been my help. Abandon me not, nor forsake me, O God of my salvation. For my father and my mother have forsaken me, but the Lord will take me up. Teach me thy way, O Lord, and lead me in an even path, because of my enemies. Deliver me not over to the will of my enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breath out of violence. Were it not that I believed I should see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thy heart, and wait on the Lord. Psalms, chapter 28. Tehillim, chapter 28. Of David. To thee will I cry, O Lord, my rock, be not silent to me, lest if thou be silent to me, I become like those who go down into the pit. Hear the voice of my supplications, when I cry to thee, when I lift up my hands towards thy holy sanctuary. Drag me not away with the wicked, and with the workers of iniquity, who speak peace to their neighbors, but there is evil in their hearts. Give them according to their deeds, and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their desert. Because they have given no heed to the works of the Lord, nor to the operation of his hands. He will destroy them, and not build them up. Blessed be the Lord, because he has heard the voice of my supplications. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoices, and with my song I will praise him. The Lord is a strength to them, and he is the saving strength of his anointed. Save thy people, and bless thy inheritance, and shepherd them, and carry them forever. Psalms, chapter 29. Tehillim, chapter 29. A psalm of David. Ascribe to the Lord, O you mighty. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Give to the Lord the glory due to his name. Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. The voice of the Lord is upon the waters. The God of glory thunders. The Lord is upon many waters. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty. The voice of the Lord breaks the cedars. Yea, the Lord breaks the cedars of the Lebanon. He makes them also skip like a calf, Lebanon and Sirion like a young wild ox. The voice of the Lord divides the flames of fire. The voice of the Lord shakes the wilderness. The Lord shakes the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of the Lord makes the hinds to calve, and strips the forests bare. And in his temple everyone speaks of his glory. The Lord sat enthroned at the flood, and he sits enthroned as a king forever. The Lord gives strength to his people. The Lord blesses his people with peace. Psalms, chapter 30. Tehillim, chapter 30. A psalm and song at the dedication of the house of David. I will extol thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up, and hast not made my foes to rejoice over me. O Lord my God, I cried to thee, and thou hast healed me, O Lord. O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from Sheol. Thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit. Sing to the Lord, O his pious ones, and give thanks to his holy name. For his anger endures but for a moment. In his favor is life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And in my prosperity I say, I shall never be moved. Lord, by thy favor, thou hast made my mountain to stand strong. Thou didst hide thy face, and I was affrighted. I cried to thee, O Lord, and to the Lord I made supplication. What profit is there in my blood, when I go down to the pit? Shall dust praise thee? Shall it declare thy truth? Hear, O Lord, and be gracious to me. Lord, be thou my helper. Thou hast turned for me my mourning into dancing. Thou hast loosed my sackcloth, and girded me with gladness, to the end that my glory may sing praise to thee, and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give thanks to thee forever. Psalms, chapter 31. Tehillim, chapter 31. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. In thee, O Lord, do I take refuge. Let me never be ashamed. Deliver me in thy righteousness. Incline thy ear to me. Deliver me speedily. Be thou my strong rock, a fortress of defense to save me. For thou art my rock and my fortress. Therefore, for thy name's sake, lead me and guide me. Pull me out of the net that they have hidden for me, for thou art my stronghold. Into thy hand I commit my spirit. Thou hast redeemed me, O Lord, God of truth. I hate them that regard vain idols, but I trust in the Lord. I will be glad and rejoice in thy loyal love, for thou hast considered my affliction. Thou hast known the troubles of my soul, and thou hast not delivered me up into the hand of the enemy. Thou hast set my feet in a broad place. Be gracious to me, O Lord, for I am in trouble. My eye is consumed with grief, my soul and my body. For my life is spent with grief, and my years with sighing. My strength fails because of my iniquity, and my bones are wasted away. I am the scorn of all my adversaries, and very much of my neighbors, and a dread to my acquaintances. Those who seek me in the street flee from me. I am forgotten as a dead man out of mind. I am like a broken vessel, for I have heard the slander of many. Fear on every side. While they took counsel together against me, they devised to take away my life. But I trusted in thee, O Lord. I said, Thou art my God. My times are in thy hand. Deliver me from the hand of my enemies, and from those who persecute me. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant. Save me by thy loyal love. Let me not be ashamed, O Lord, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in Sheol. Let the lying lips be put to silence, which speak arrogant words, profoundly and contemptuously against the righteous. O how great is thy goodness, which thou hast laid up for those who fear thee, which thou hast performed for those who trust in thee in the sight of the sons of men. Thou hidest them in the covert of thy presence from the plots of men. Thou shalt keep them secretly in a pavilion from the strife of tongues. Blessed be the Lord, for he has shown me his marvelous love in a strong city. For I said in my haste, I am cut off from before thy eyes. Nevertheless, thou didst hear the voice of my supplications when I cried to thee. O love the Lord, all his pious ones, for the Lord preserves the faithful, and plentifully repays him who acts haughtily. Be of good courage, and let your heart be strong, all you who hope in the Lord. Psalms, chapter 32. Tehillim, chapter 32. Of David, a maskil. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man to whom the Lord imputes no iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile. When I kept silence, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day long. For day and night thy hand was heavy upon me. My moisture is turned into the drought of summer. Selah, I acknowledged my sin to thee, and my iniquity I have not hid. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and thou didst forgive the iniquity of my sin. Selah. For this shall everyone that is godly pray to thee in a time when thou mayest be found. Then surely the floods of great waters shall not come near him. Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou dost compass me about with songs of deliverance. Selah. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will counsel thee, with my eye upon thee. Be not like the horse or the mule, which have no understanding, whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle, that they come not near to thee. Many are the sorrows of the wicked, but he that trusts in the Lord shall be surrounded by love. Be glad in the Lord and rejoice, O you righteous, and shout for joy, all you who are upright in heart. Psalms, chapter 33. Tehillim, chapter 33. Rejoice in the Lord, O you righteous. Praise is comely for the righteous. Praise the Lord with a lyre. Make melody to him with the harp of 10 strings. Sing to him a new song. Play skillfully with loud jubilations. For the word of the Lord is right, and all his work is done in faithfulness. He loves righteousness and judgment. The earth is full of the goodness of the Lord. By the word of the Lord were the heavens made, and all the host of them by the breath of his mouth. He gathers the waters of the sea together like a rampart. He lays up the depths of the storehouses. Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. For he spoke, and it was. He commanded, and it stood fast. The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to naught. He makes the devices of the peoples to be of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Happy is the nation whose God is the Lord, and the people whom he has chosen for his own inheritance. The Lord looks down from heaven. He beholds all the sons of men. From the place of his habitation he looks upon all the inhabitants of the earth. He who fashions their hearts alike, who considers all their deeds. There is no king saved by the multitude of a host. A mighty man is not delivered by great strength. A horse is a vain thing for safety, nor shall he save by his great strength. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon those who fear him, upon those who hope in his steadfast love, to deliver their soul from death, and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul waited for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name. Let thy steadfast love, O Lord, be upon us, even as we hope in thee. Psalms, chapter 34. Tehillim, chapter 34. Of David, when he changed his demeanor before Avimelech, who drove him away, and he departed. I will bless the Lord at all time. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall glory in the Lord. The humble shall hear of it, and be glad. O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he answered me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked to him, and are radiant, and their faces shall not be ashamed. This poor man cries, and the Lord hears, and saves him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps round about those who fear him, and he delivers them. O taste and see the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who trusts in him. O fear the Lord, you saints of his, for those who fear him have no lack. The young lions lack and suffer hunger, but they who seek the Lord shall not want any good thing. Come, children, hearken to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Who is the man that desires life, and loves many days, that he may see good? Keep thy tongue from evil, and thy lips from speaking guile. Depart from evil, and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are towards the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The righteous cry, and the Lord hears, and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to them who are of a broken heart, and he saves such as are of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. He keeps all his bones. Not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be condemned. The Lord redeems the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be condemned. Psalms, chapter 35. Tehillim, chapter 35. Of David. Strive, O Lord, with those who contend against me. Fight with those who oppose me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and rise up for my help. Draw out also the spear and battle-axe against those who persecute me. Say to my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded, and put to shame who seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion who devise my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, the angel of the Lord thrusting them. Let their way be dark and slippery, the angel of the Lord pursuing them. For without cause have they hid for me their net. Psalms, chapter 36. Tehillim, chapter 36. To the chief musician of David, the servant of the Lord. Transgression speaks to the wicked within his heart. There is no fear of God before his eyes, for he flatters himself in his own eyes that his iniquity cannot be found out and hated. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He has left off being wise and doing good. He devises mischief upon his bed. He sets himself in a way that is not good. He does not abhor evil. Thy steadfast love, O God, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reaches the clouds. Thy righteousness is like the great mountains. Thy judgments are a great deep. O Lord, thou preservest man and beast. How excellent is thy love, O God! Therefore the children of men shelter under the shadow of thy wings. They are abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou makest them to drink of the river of thy pleasures. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light we see light. O continue thy steadfast love to those who know thee, and thy righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked drive me away. There are the workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down, and are not able to rise. Psalms, chapter 37. Tehillim, chapter 37. Of David. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, nor be envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither like the green herb. Trust in the Lord, and do good. Dwell in the land, and enjoy security. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thy heart. Commit thy way to the Lord. Trust also in him, and he will bring it to pass. And he will bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment like the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and patiently wait for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospers in the way, because of the man who accomplishes wicked devices. Cease from anger, and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself, it comes to no good. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those who wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. And thou shalt look well at his place, but he will not be there. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked man plots against the just, and grinds his teeth against him. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he sees that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow, to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as are of upright ways. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man has is better than the riches of many wicked men. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholds the just. For the Lord knows the days of the innocent, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked and the enemies of the Lord shall perish like the glory of the meadows. They shall consume, they shall pass away in smoke. The wicked borrows, but does not pay back, but the righteous man gives with a good grace. For such as are blessed of him shall inherit the earth, and they that are cursed of him shall be cut off. The steps of a man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. I have been young, and now am old, yet I have not seen a just man forsaken, and his seed begging bread. He lends generously at all times, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil, and do good, and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loves justice, and forsakes not his pious ones. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the earth, and dwell in it forever. The mouth of the righteous speaks wisdom, and his tongue discourses justice. The Torah of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall falter. The wicked man watches the righteous, and seeks to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor allow him to be condemned when he is judged. Wait on the Lord, and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green tree in its native soil. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. But the transgressors are destroyed together. The end of the wicked is cut off, and the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in the time of trouble, and the Lord will help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked, and save them, because they take refuge in him. Psalms, chapter 38. Tehillim, chapter 38. A psalm of David, for invocation. O Lord, rebuke me not in thy wrath, nor chasten me in thy hot displeasure. For thy arrows stick fast in me, and thy hand presses me sore. There is no soundness in my flesh because of thy anger, nor is there any health in my bones because of my sin. For my iniquities are gone over my head, like a heavy burden, they are too heavy for me. My wounds stink, they fester because of my foolishness. I am troubled, I bow down greatly. I go mourning all day long, for my loins are filled with burning, and there is no soundness in my flesh. I am feeble and sore broken. I groan by reason of the disquietness of my heart. Lord, all my desire is before thee, and my sighing is not hid from thee. My heart palpitates, my strength fails me. As for the light of my eyes, it also is gone from me. My lovers and my friends stand aloof from my plague, and my kinsmen stand afar off. And they who seek after my life lay snares for me, and they who seek my hurt speak mischievous things, and meditate deceits all day long. But I, like a deaf man, hear not, and like a dumb man that opens not his mouth. Thus I was like a man that hears not, and in whose mouth are no rebukes. For in thee, O Lord, I hope. Thou wilt hear, O Lord, my God. For I say, lest they should rejoice over me. When my foot slips, they magnify themselves against me. For I am ready to stumble, and my pain is continually before me. For I will declare my iniquity. I will be sorry for my sin. But my enemies are in vigorous life, and they who hate me wrongfully are many. They also who render evil for good are my adversaries. Because I follow what is good, forsake me not, O Lord. O my God, be not far from me. Make haste to help me, O Lord, my salvation. Psalms, chapter 39. Tehillim, chapter 39. To the chief musician, for Yedutun, a psalm of David. I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep a curb on my mouth, while the wicked man is before me. I was dumb with silence. I held my peace, had no comfort, and my pain was stirred up. My heart was hot within me, while I was musing. The fire burned. Then I spoke with my tongue, Lord. Make me know my end, and the measure of my days what it is. I will know how frail I am. Behold, thou hast made my days like handbreadths, and my age is as nothing before thee. Truly, every man at his best estate is altogether vanity. Selah. Surely every man walks in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heaps up riches, and knows not who shall gather them. And now, Lord, what do I wait for? My hope is in thee. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the base man. I am dumb. I open not my mouth, because thou didst it. Remove thy stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of thy hand. When thou with rebukes dost correct a man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. Surely every man is vanity. Selah. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear to my cry. Keep not silence at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner, as all my fathers were. Look away from me, that I may recover brightness, before I go hence and am no more. Psalms, chapter 40. Tehillim, chapter 40. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined to me, and heard my cry. He brought me up also out of the gruesome pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my footsteps. And he has put a new song in my mouth, a praise to our God. Many shall see and fear, and shall trust in the Lord. Blessed is that man that makes the Lord his trust, and looks not to the proud, nor to such as turn aside to lies. Many, O Lord, are my God, are thy wonderful works which thou hast done, and thy thoughts which are towards us. None can compare with thee. If I would declare and speak of them, they are more than can be numbered. Thou dost not desire sacrifice or meal offering. Thou hast dug open my ears. Burnt offering and sin offering hast thou not required. Then said I, Lo, I come with the scroll of the book which is written for me. I delight to do thy will, O my God, and thy Torah is within my heart. I have preached righteousness in the great congregation. Lo, I did not refrain my lips, O Lord. Thou knowest, I have not hid thy righteousness within my heart. I have declared thy faithfulness and thy salvation. I have not concealed thy love and thy truth from the great congregation. Withhold not thou thy tender mercies from me, O Lord. Let thy steadfast love and thy truth continually preserve me. For innumerable evils have compassed me about. My iniquities have taken hold upon me, so that I am not able to look up. They are more than the hairs of my head. Therefore my heart fails me. Be pleased, O Lord, to deliver me. O Lord, make haste to help me. Let them be ashamed and confounded together, who seek after my soul to destroy it. Let them be turned backward and put to shame who wish me evil. Let them be appalled because of their shame, who say concerning me, Aha, aha. Let all those who seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee. Let such as love thy salvation say continually, The Lord be magnified. But I am poor and needy, yet the Lord takes thought for me. Thou art my help and my deliverer. Delay not, O my God. Psalms, chapter 41. Tehillim, chapter 41. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Blessed is he who considers the poor. The Lord will deliver him in the day of evil. The Lord preserves him and keeps him alive. He is called happy upon the earth, and thou wilt not deliver him to the will of his enemies. The Lord strengthens him upon the bed of sickness. Whenever he is prostrate, thou recoverest him in his illness. I said, Lord, be gracious to me, heal my soul, for I have sinned against thee. My enemies speak evil of me. When shall he die, and his name perish? And if one comes to see me, he speaks vanity. His heart gathers iniquity to itself. When he goes abroad, he tells it. All that hate me whisper together against me. Against me they devise my hurt. An evil disease, they say, cleaves fast to him, and from where he lies he shall rise up no more. Even my own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, who did eat of my bread, has lifted up his heel against me. But thou, O Lord, be gracious to me, and raise me up, that I may pay them back. By this I know that thou favorest me, because my enemy does not triumph over me. And as for me, thou upholdest me in my integrity, and settest me before thy face forever. Blessed be the Lord, the God of Yisrael, from everlasting and to everlasting. Amen and Amen.